before today. Little known fact. But I can't wait to hear her message. As Chief Innovation Officer for the Steel City Spark Cell, we say thank you for your service. As a professional specializing in artificial intelligence, we say congratulations on all your hard work and success. As a human being, I say, I'm not sure you'll find it better. Please welcome Captain Jessica Ellis.
Wow, that's not what I was expecting. I was like, okay, this is his disclaimer. I've never met her in person. But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction. And yeah, Liz, can you guys make a note if this is what I would like in the future? Okay, thank you. Well, hello everyone. I'm Captain Jessica Ellis. I wear a couple of different hats in the Air Force. So today you'll hear me speaking on behalf of medic. I started as a combat medic in the Army, quickly realized patient care, not for me. People are gross. My one side of my family, they're in nursing, but I love the operations of it. And I love the healthcare mission. And at the heart of it, I love our docs, nurses, medics who really just want to take care of people. So that's how I started. As I once again realized patient care, not for me, got my business degree, stood up a mission in Kentucky with the Army National Guard, a Homeland Defense mission, weapons of mass destruction. Loved it, loved my life, did my MBA there, and just decided to give that all up to be a poor student in Barcelona, which when I say that part, everyone's like, oh, Barcelona. But to be a poor student and do my Ph.D. and just get out of the military for a few years. So my research is in behavioral economics. And that's how I really got into robotics and AI. I was in a portfolio of human-to-human trust, human-to-machine trust, and I always thought like these robot AI nerds are not for me. But now I am one of them, and we are nerds, but we're the cool nerds. But I just loved, at the heart of it, it's really about understanding humans. And so how we got here today, I am one of the chief innovation officers. This is our other chief innovation co-chief. Yeah. Whatever was on the slide before me. But I lead the innovation cell at our Spark Cell here in Pittsburgh. And I know a lot of faces out here just from, events and the cool things that you were all doing that we think that the Air Force needs. And so I'm excited to get to know some of the rest of you and hopefully, build some collaboration after this. So I'll speak a little bit on our Spark Cell also. We have a couple of what I would say are core capabilities. One in additive manufacturing. We have some of the top equipment in the Air Force. We've been designated as the additive manufacturing site for the Air Force Reserve Command. And we see a lot of potential because Pittsburgh, additive manufacturing, where AI, robotics, life sciences. So I think the innovation network of the Air Force, and specifically the Air Force Reserve Command and Air National Guard, are recognizing all of the potential that we have here. So I think more of our medical projects and, training parts, building or 3D printing some of our training parts for, I think I have a video that might see the reason that we would need to cut into someone's Christ and do these things that are just, they're very expensive and we want realistic training. So that's, a big part of what we do. And maybe at the end we can, speak a little bit more about our Spark Cell. But we're here to talk about BATDOK, and just a show of hands, who knows what BATDOK is? Oh, okay. I think over the weekend we heard BATDOG. Yeah, she thought it was what did you think it was? Yeah, I'm sorry. No, that's at the end. That's at the end. We're just building it up. Okay, and see what? Yeah, still working on it. Maybe next time. But today we are going to talk about something really cool for not just the Air Force, but for the DoD. And it's Battlefield Assisted Trauma Distributed Observation Kit. I brought my notes so that I don't mess that up. So originally, when I talked to Brett and his team, I really wanted to come from a place of like why it matters to the end user, because I am the end user and I work in our aeromedical staging squadron, which essentially we're the ground packaging unit. So we get patients ready, we give them to the aeromedical evacuation crew, and I think today's wars are different than what I've experienced and what I had in Iraq, and realizing I think how fortunate we were to have air superiority. Things just look a little bit different now, and it was hard then to really track patients from they might be somewhere in the middle of nowhere coming to a hospital, for instance, where I work in Balad, Iraq, to then Germany, to there. And you have to keep a record, which means our systems need to talk. We need to communicate to the person that we're handing off this patient to. And you can imagine that on a flight line, there's not a lot of time to give the backstory. So I was really excited when I heard about BATDOK at Medical Research and Development Command. I had a capability day. I was one of 2 Air Force people, the only captain of 03. Captain in the Navy is an 06. So already I was like, oh, I think they thought someone else, but hey, I'm here. Let's have fun. But to hear that it was developed by the Air Force just makes me really proud because, of course, I'm biased. I love our mission. I love what we do. I started Army, but, quickly realized that the Air Force is where I wanted to be. So now that we know what BATDOK stands for, I think check 1 for Jane. We've already learning something, and let's move on. So first, go back 1 slide, and then there should be a video with the link. So I wanted to make this a little interactive also. So maybe pull up the link. So I wrote what's called our JFAC. So this is the kit that everyone is issued in our tactical combat casualty care training, which is going to be training for, I believe, all of Air Force. I know for medical. I should know that, but I know my medical training, but it's like self-aid buddy care, but way more advanced. In 1 week, I felt like I was going back through combat medic school. So they brought our kit, and in this next video, in the first video, I just want to show a little bit. And any volunteers, I have some cards, but this is what we use to document patient care. And so as you're watching this, and we'll probably cut it off at like around 15, 20 minutes, just try to notate what you see. Even if you don't have a card, just make a note of everything that you see that they're doing, the care that they're getting.
Hear me.
You checked the other extremities already, reassess those?
Yeah, we're good.
Everybody good? You can probably do everything. It's time to use place. Excellent. Yeah, right there. Check the clear routine. The old mountain wood waiting over here. Right on his own. A little bit. The equal. Get him wrapped up. Here's the map. Okay, roll him again. Yeah. Still holding back here. All right. Ready? Anytime he's still holding. Chris, catch coming. Catch coming. All right. I'll float him up and get out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this back. So this is what we use to document. So I'm sure you can imagine things that could go wrong. We could hear how windy it was there. We work in dirty environment. There was a lot of flood, and we do what we can. But in that 10 minutes, let's see. And Josh, your handwriting is very neat. So let's see, it's already messed up. Which one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we had airway check, boom. Oh, it's in French too. Yeah, these are old ones that I grabbed. So we don't waste the taxpayers' dollars. I was like, I don't know what I was selected. Unresponsive, tourniquet, breast wound. Great. Wow, good job. Okay, and Doc, what else are we missing?
Yeah, two tourniquets, then the static gauze, captain,
Mm-hmm.
and MTA. Then you switched out the tourniquet for a tourniquet and a little bit of I don't know if you were doing a pelvic plate. That was carried that kind of thing. And you had, if you were still traveling.
I'm like, well, so far, I'm like, okay, yeah.
And you had the piece of dressing, and then you were basically just maintaining the body temperature. Sorry. I'm sure at some point it is right. Well, I'm surprised you back. Oh, you of course you typed it.
Yeah.
You already know.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I had a junctional tourniquet. That's what,
Right, so normally tourniquets are for distal, or like for long bones type thing.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
So we have a hole like in a junction. We try and use those effective reference that we don't put it up.
Yeah. I never seen the pit. I'm obsessed with that show. But yeah, well, okay, I don't want to spoil it in case nobody else has seen it, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, and wow, that's check and check. But did you see how busy they were with both hands? Well, also, and this is when, you know, we're in the safe zone, not even in, you know, where people are firing at you. So documenting is not something that you're maybe thinking of right away. And already I forgot what all I wrote down. And then I noticed like, wait, what size is it? So once again, speaking as an administrator, but as someone who has to go through the training and is expected to know all of it, and be able to perform, you know, and take care of multiple people. So thank you, Doc, for doing that. And you did a great job. I think, yeah. So also what we have to document are the times that we count as tourniquet. You know, we have our minimum requirements, but these things are really important because when we, you know, give them to the AE crew, when they go to the hospital, the next level of care, it's really important to understand, okay, why maybe their vitals are increased or decreased. So that was just a quick demonstration to show how we're trained and how we've done it in the past. And then from the paper records, we have to transcribe in systems. You know, you're reading someone else's writing and, you know, physician's writing, not always the best. So if we could go to the next slide, I first wanted to start with, you know, what this is and who this is designed for and some of the circumstances, you know, that where this is really appreciated. So I pulled this from AFR Hill Air Force Research Lab 5 because I don't want public affairs to, yeah, I just run it by them. So I'm like, I'm just going to pull this directly from their side. And I included a couple of facts, but we can also watch the 3-minute video if you're interested in like more of the demo. Okay. There should be also in our YouTube. Oh, if you click on that.
The Air Force Research Laboratory, working in concert with the Joint Operational Medicine Information Systems Program Management Office, are developing modernization to medical documentation and care for both human and canine casualties. Crucial treatment information, including but not limited to assessments, procedures, vitals, and administered medicines, and blood, will be digitally captured on mobile devices, such as smartphones and tablets, across the care spectrum, starting from the entry through the various patient movement evacuations, from medevac to aeromedical evacuation, for deployed definitive care facilities. The Battlefield Assisted Trauma Distributed Observation Kit, or BATDOK, replaces error-prone paper documentation suffering from illegibility, damage from environmental elements, and/or loss along the care continuum. Compatible with a wide variety of off-the-shelf FDA-approved medical sensors, patient values, and wirelessly streamed to BATDOK for monitoring, documentation, and assessment usage. With BATDOK, the digitized information is collected and easily passed to the patient using a variety of methodologies, including near-field communication cards and quick response or QR codes. BATDOK is also able to pass information using a variety of tactical and commercial networks, thereby providing essential advanced information to medical treatment facilities, preparing to receive the patients, as well as timely situational awareness for leadership and logistics planning. BATDOK is designed to operate in forward austere locations and requires no internet connectivity, but is capable of leveraging those resources when available to pass encrypted medical information for collaboration with other medical agents. An extensive customizable record cycle is stored in that, providing quick searchable references to medical procedure and protocols, drug dosage information, and other life-saving guidance. Decision support tools, including clinical practice guides, burn formula and drip calculations, as well as medical timing, also available to assist medical personnel in high-stress, high-tempo environments. Joint Operational Medical Information System Program Management Office partnered with the Air Force Research Laboratory to further refine and feed this important capability across all Department of Defense services. Through this collaboration and continuous efforts invested in the laboratory and during field evaluations, the BATDOK team continues to develop new capabilities to improve patient care and documentation of our nation's warriors.
Okay, so I think that's just a good kind of high level view. And then there's something that really sticks out to me and probably people like Liz, where we hear a partner. Hold on, before you pay for your. I thought something's on. Hold on, I was like, I told you I'm not speaking on behalf of. No, no, Jack. All right, yeah. Oh, so yeah, the thing that stuck out to me is that it is being fielded by the Joint Operational Information System. So that means it's coming, whether the Army, Marines, Navy, whether they want it or not. This is now being used across the services. So once again, what that means is that it will be used by my medics, by our unit. And so the things that I am interested in, and maybe, our physician here can help with this next part of the demo and actually enter information. And then I would just like to close with, from someone who's more about new technologies and about the data, ways to leverage AI, a couple of highlights and things that I'm excited about. Okay, so now if we could get this going. I'm hoping that I think our next talk is on APAC. Perfect. Okay, because I got a long history on how BATDOK was created. And of course, PJ is special operations. They always think outside of the box. And they're like, hey, if I had a phone or if I had something right here where I could do this or this. And if I have those already, then why can't I just add another application to then track my behavior? Okay, so I'm not an Android user, so bear with me. They're working on that. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and add the patient that we have from our card. And feel free to stop me at any point. I'm not quite sure how much you're interested in the actual technology itself, or maybe, future opportunities, collaborations, etc. So, and remember, I was trained on this 2 weeks ago for about hours. So we're going to create a new patient, a trauma patient, the same picture that we saw before. And we can do my patient. So we had our injuries. I'm just going to go off of Josh's. So we had safety gunshot. And maybe something here. What else do we have? Okay, there's one in the chest. Yes, we saw the exit when that. Okay. And if we are triaging, because this can be used in the field, you may not know when evacuation is coming. You may know, and so you do need to, I would say, immediate. method of injury we already have. And then this is really, this allows you to enter the minimum information that you have, but it also allows you the capability to, and customize, but add information maybe when you have more time or if you do have time. And so we can track vitals. I'm not going to actually track them right now, but something else that is a really, really cool capability for us in the airport and for, I guess, the medical service is that there are sensors on our equipment so that it can talk and link directly to the sensor. So I may have four, I think so. I might be tracking 4 patients and that's a lot, if somebody's vitals within, a second, could change. So if you just use this sensor, it can actually connect in here. So that part was one of the notes from the data side of it. And it would also be applied direct pressure, tourniquet, impacting. I'm just now going there. And then, let me go back to this guy. So this goes all the way down in acronym. We love acronyms in the military. So for our trauma training, we have MARCH PAUSE. So it's active hemorrhage, airway, respiratory, circulation, headwind, and do not tell my medical trainer. Yeah, anyway, you get the point. All the way down to any medicine that we administer day to day. But we really start with the end, which is the opposite of what I learned in my combat medic training. But we found data in Iraq that shows now we know more about why, how we can improve our care to give our warfighters a better chance at survival. So I'll pause there. Is anyone else interested in kind of, going through or testing any specific capabilities? Okay.
No, I do have a question from the field.
Sure.
Does BATDOK also support what they call FHIR, which is the Fast Healthcare Interoperability Resource?
Right. That's okay. Yeah, and at the end, I also wanted to take any questions to AFRL and the owner, because I'm, speaking more at the tactical level and also, as somebody who works in the new integrated capability command and, more of a solution architect to make sure end to end that this matters and integrate with our health record. But I'm not sure about acronyms, so we're going to take it out and come back. Okay.
So I saw like all of the hands-on stuff and the way that you're interacting with it now. And like I was just showing you one of my apps that I'm trying out is I think voice to text
Yes.
would be really beneficial.
Yes. And you do have that capability. I can remember how to do it. And there is that. So I think if it is something that you want to type out, if it's a text field, that you can do voice to that. A couple of other things that really stuck out to me is one, I think it's very intuitive and user friendly. And as someone who's worked a lot with the Army and new technologies, I think we all know it doesn't matter if at the end of the day users aren't willing to adopt it or it's difficult for them. If my whole job is a medical service corps officer and healthcare administrator, I want to make it easier. I want to eliminate or reduce, I'm never going to eliminate that cognitive burden on our docs and nurses. So, yeah, that was something that really stuck out to me. And the fact that also, you might remember something a little bit later that you're able to add, but it keeps a log of all of anything that you do, any activity. So you may have made a mistake, you can go back and erase, or maybe it wasn't a mistake, but you still have this log. And so, demographics, as was, yes, you can add pictures. And if anybody wants to stay later to play around with it and do more of the demo, I just wanted to get kind of the high level. Once again, especially as somebody who asked AFRL to give me a quick lesson on it because we have not deployed it in our unit yet. But another thing that I really wanted to just point out, I think I showed with the sensors and being able to have medication. I would have no idea how many species, what information that they would like to see, they being our physicians, at the other end of care. And having the ability to scan these things, and even in our immunization clinic here, we don't. And it is very time consuming and costly for us to enter those. But the thing that in my job in the Air Medical Safety Squadron, as I mentioned, we are the ground crew. So our job is to get patients ready and hand them off to the air medical evacuation. Sometimes things happen, and we don't always get someone on their flight that they were intended to. So we actually have QR codes that can be scanned for I forget the name of the card. So once it's filled out, I can just tap it and then I have all of the information on my phone. So that handoff for me was really a game changer. That paired with the fact that it speaks to all of our other systems and it makes it easier for the warfighter. Those were all things that made me really excited, really proud that the Air Force felt it. Because I think the Army is doing a lot of really, really cool things in the medical technology field. So, okay, let me just look at my notes to see if there's anything else that I missed. There wanted to,
How reliable is that, or does that tie into all of the network solutions we're working on?
so it can, Bluetooth, it's very reliable, much more reliable than our system now. Yeah. And I think also just the researcher side of me is excited to have even more data points. Like, we don't know a lot about actual female injuries. We're learning more. And and so I think for me, all I see are extra data points, like being able to add demographics. You can pre-fill information, like a lot of units deploy together. And I don't know how many times I saw units lined up wanting to donate blood. Even just knowing these things, if you depend on your dog tags to tell you what my blood type is, well, maybe I lose a lot of things. Maybe I lost my dog tag that day. So yeah, those were things that made me excited about it. And I'm interested if you all have any questions, comments.
That's right. So there was a piece in the scene where one of the medics was taking off the glove to try and render weapons through the airway. How do they feel about the dexterity with their gloves in the UI?
Okay, so
Like how the UI, right?
Yeah.
There, and they've got gloves on. So did the UI work for them to do data entry?
yes, it would have to. I was gonna say, I don't have my gloves on me that we could actually test. But yeah, it has to be, yeah.
And that's what I said, they've been okay with it.
Yeah, as far as the user feedback, but I think that's a great question. And, as I mentioned, for me, it's all about the end user adoption. We have a lot of great technologies, but if it doesn't work for us in the end, especially in cold climates or, we're training to be in a lot of different environments. And so that's a great question that I think would be worth asking. I get annoyed in the winter if I can't. So if I'm, trying to like something. Yes.
This question is, you know what they're using for cardiorespiratory ventilation understanding in the field?
Okay, for cardio. You can say maybe. There are also tools and things that you can reference. Somebody like me would definitely have to reference if I went to a training once a week. But I'm not quite sure what the question is. And
Is there a particular sensor that you know is being used?
like a Zoll, like a type of.
Meaning a device or solution.
So I know we use Zoll. I don't know what sensor that is.
I don't.
And I used to be in charge of medical logistics section, so I should know that. So, okay, are they looking for a particular type of?
I think that the use of the Zoll solution is adequate because we can figure out what that is.
Okay, I think that we can,
Yep.
write it down.
What's the timeline for this? 5 hours.
That is a great question. That is a great question. Huh. Oh, yeah, it's not even like I have any secret or background knowledge. Yes, same here, because, once again, we talked, I think, back in November, and I wanted to get some hands-on experience to actually speak as the end user. And I know that FRL has transferred it, so there is a program owner. And maybe they're going to do the same thing. A lot of stuff about the units are going.
A couple months ago. I might be. They would have deployed the system. That's why I speak up in the.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the goal. My company did speak it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
No, yeah, please.
So it's not just that they're but when the position, but light up the device. Yeah, your video, the video would be in the daylight, but how many seconds it turns into like it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting. I'd love to chat afterwards. So I do know that it is available for free for DoD members. So some of my colleagues are busy right now, and they can download it on their device if they have an Android. So they're still testing the iPhone version. But that's a great question, and these are the things I want to know the answer. So I think these are good favorite points to that. Yeah. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you all so much. Thanks for your patience with the non-medic, but I think, we made a good team with the visitors in the room, so thank you all.
Okay. All right, we're gonna take a short break while we switch speakers. Be back, I think it's 5 minutes.
And I'll leave it up here if anybody wants to play with it, try to break it. That's always what I try to do.